Well, let's talk now to Lauri Myllyvirta, who's a senior fellow at the Asia Society Policy Institute and lead analyst at the Centre for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Welcome back to the programme, Lauri. Good to see you. So it seems like every COP in recent memory calls again for countries to transition away from fossil fuels to cleaner energy. What's stopping them?
Overall, the clean energy transition globally has accelerated much faster than anyone thought in the past couple of years, especially solar, thanks to the dramatic drop in prices, has seen many countries start to install, or in many cases, individual households starting to install solar much faster than thought. Now, governments are lagging behind. The projections for how much solar we're going to have by 2030 and so on have increased a lot, but the government targets in most cases haven't. And that means that grid operators are unprepared for the amount of solar that they're going to have in the grid and so on. So the key thing is right now is that many policymakers are lagging behind the amazing economic and technological progress that is happening.
When it comes to powering our energy grids, though, are we ready for renewable energy to take over? Are the grids able to cope with that?
That varies a lot by country. The countries that are forerunners, that have gotten the furthest, have shares of wind and solar in the electricity mix that goes very high, up to 50% and so on. Many other countries are entirely unprepared for that. In China currently the share is approaching 15%, and that's already requiring a lot of action from the grid operator because their operating model isn't adapted to that yet. And in general, as the growth in wind and solar and other clean energy accelerates, it's going to be an ongoing process where the grid operators have to adapt and try to keep up.
Well, as you point out, China is at the forefront of renewable energy use, if you like, solar, as you mentioned. How do you see that mix of energy that China uses evolving?
For electricity, China's currently at about 5% clean, up from 25% a decade ago. So things have started to move in the direction. In the past couple of years, there has been dramatic acceleration, especially in solar. The current targets for the share of clean energy in the total energy mix already mean that by 2030, China's power generation has to be 45 to 50% clean and going up from there. Our projection is that by simply continuing the rate of additions of clean energy that was achieved last year and this year, China can get to 70% clean electricity by 2035.
Lauri, great to talk to you as always. Thank you for coming on the programme. That's Lauri Myllyvirta, Senior Fellow at the Asia Society Policy Institute and lead analyst at the Centre for Research on Energy and Clean Air.